We are live. It's Friday night. I don't know if my friends will be here. How are you, my friends, my other friends? Anybody out there want to chat? Ooh, somebody's in. Tonight we're talking about paranormal. Again, anything paranormal is on the table. I did put down UFOs as part of the focus. UFOs. UFOs. Can anybody hear me? I've got my Dunkin' Donuts. Last night was great. I hope we get some visitors, but I understand people are busy. So tonight's adventure may be cut short. But anybody want to come in the chat? Let's chat. I definitely look like in this get-up tonight that a guy that got abducted by UFOs, don't I? Let's go over UFOs. Let's take it case by case. There's a new documentary or movie, The Fifth Dimension or something like that. UFOs. Fifth Dimension Aliens. Crop circles. Anybody out there? This bloody chat's not going as good as last night. That's alright. Give me a shout. What's your take on it? Unidentified flying objects. I am in a little movie on YouTube. I'm going to leave in the anonymous. Out of This World, the Ricky Lime Experience. It's very funny. A man wakes up in the middle of a crop circle and he's fleeing. He believes he's been abducted by aliens. There's some aliens in the film. But the main thrust is he's become deluded and obsessed. And he's not quite sure if he's been abducted. The Abduction Experience. Certainly we've all seen the awesome interview with Joe Rogan with the F-18 fighter pilot, so that's taken it to a new level. But the Ricky Lime thing is about abduction. Sorry, I have so many pauses. Somebody get in the chat. I'm live. I realize everybody's busy. The last night with Bedbug, BB, we were talking about sleep paralysis. So, alien, so-called mental health experts think it has to do with sleep paralysis. Self-deception, false memory experience. But without a doubt, something was spotted by that F-18 pilot. I've noticed more often than not, the pictures of the UFOs are horrible. There's a book about the historical entries by Jacques Vallée. I believe that's his name. I think he's still alive. Of the records of Roman generals, Greek generals, the prophets in the Old Testament having experiences that sound like they could be encounters. So last night we were talking about ghosts. The term is activity. um, you'll notice that your main sources always downplay this type of things. And yet people see them. What do you guys think? The shades are on, so I need to attract people. For better, for worse, I've been gabbing a lot about Crowley. Those are the people who came in to talk about him. It's very popular. He was of the opinion that we need to make contact. You know what I mean? And that we must use every means to save ourselves. And that the atomic bomb agitated shades. Last night we were also talking about shades with bedbug. Was it bedbug? Yeah. The shadow people. Have you seen them? Have you felt them? I'm going to, by the way, have a new pair of shades every night. I apologize. I came across a stash of them, and I'm going to enjoy it for what it's worth. Since we all can never go outside again because we're on COVID-19, I think we're going to be on COVID 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Anyway, I got to get my other weird... I'll bring back to the shade. I was just testing. So we're talking alien abductions tonight. Widely publicized case. We've all heard of the Betty and Barney Hill abduction, 1961. They were an interracial couple before it's hip, so maybe they had some kind of psychological pressure from that. Many of the cases were handled by the Harvard professor John Mack, who passed away in 2004. He, in fact, was the head of the Harvard Psychiatric School, or head of psychology and whatnot. And he looked into the phenomena of alien abduction. He was shunned by some of the literati, but defended as well. So there's a lot of weird things like that. He looked into it. Oh, finally we have somebody aboard. Thank you. I've been drifting. I've been looking. I had fun chatting because I'm so lonely. I am glad, EF, you're here with me. Tonight we're going over, and if you want to go back to Ghosts, but I started a rap on, can you hear me pretty good, I hope, on the UFOs. I'll leave you in the liner notes. I'm in a cool movie running around the woods as the character Ricky Lime, which is, of course, the reverse of the Lime Ricky drink, the all-American drink that we dig. So we're going over alien abduction phenomena tonight. Extraterrestrial contact. The various aliens are, of course, the Greys, the Reptilians, and the Nordics. That's the mythos behind it. Some people say, I don't know, Elizabeth, if you know H.P. Lovecraft, that all the phenomena that he experiences is sort of extraterrestrial, or some people say demonic activity is that. Oh, good. Eating dinner. This is a good show to watch while eating dinner. And you can run it later to help you sleep. I got to put in the liner notes. Let me see if I can call this up and put it in. I'm in 3 little movies now: Spy Top Spy, Masters of Illusion, VIP, and Out of This World, Ricky Lime Story, all done by Fountain of Cards Productions. And we're looking to do more after this hell slows down. Hope so. Oh, yeah, me too. I love H.P. Lovecraft. I have my Miskatonic hoodie, and I'm going to be going around to wherever they let me go around. I'm going to be going around to the Lovecraft sites. I'm going to try to do a good job. As you know, where we were in Salem, that is in H.P. Lovecraft lore, Arkham. And I remember the end of the trip, the tour. We ended up at the Broad Street Cemetery. The old buildings over there, I don't know if I mentioned them. That's Arkham, or that's the Miskatonic University in Arkham, which is H.P. Lovecraft's word for Salem. Which I love those buildings there. Oh. Let me see if I can get the Out of This World film into the chat here. Because I need everybody to watch it somehow. Oh, I'm live. There's 3 watching. Last night, we had 36 views. That's weird. Look at that feedback. It's me on another screen. I got a Warren Mills. Oh. Let me see if I can get Out of This World in here. Bear with me, folks. There's 2 of me. It's like an abduction experience. Out of This World, the Ricky Lime story is a story about abduction, and I ran around the woods completely paranoid. Here we go. Aha! There it is right there. Rowan Miles, hey, I just saw a UFO spaceship. Some pictures. Oh, are you gonna do a YouTube of it, or do you have a blog? Cool. Sorry, that's all right. You were eating dinner. You shut that off. That's too weird. James Earl Jones, Darth Vader voice played Barney Hill. So, okay, that's all right, Warren. Well, if you do any of that, see what if you can show. So we got Warren aboard tonight. He's got some pictures of blue thing falling out of the sky. Yeah. Yeah. You want my email? I'll give you my email. I would love for you to send Warren. So we're talking UFOs. Anybody have any thoughts on the? I've never been. It's still the Skinwalker Ranch. Oh, cool. Are you the guy from Pennsylvania who worked at the prison with the Egyptian architecture that I met by any chance, or are you just at random coming on? Just wondering. It's all right if you don't want to identify. Hypnosis. People under hypnosis go over it. That's actually a theme in a lot of movies. No, you weren't on the tour. Okay, you're random. That's all right. You know, some of the biggest figures in this, I've always questioned Whitney Strieber, even though I love his books. And it just seemed kind of kinky. What about the hybrid people who are half alien? Very weird. Sorry, I'm really speaking slowly tonight. The political conspiracy theory thing. Oh, I lost 2 viewers already. But Warren, if you want to email me that, I'd love to check out UFO picture. X-Files. Okay, X-Files definitely had a political dimension to it. In other words, it's hidden from the people. And I think probably the most stunning scene is in one of them when Mulder, when they take him from the base and he gets wheeled across. And he sees in the hangar the actual UFOs. I think that was lifted from Area 51. Bob Lazar's experience. The Mulder, as he's wheeled on the stretcher, seems definitely similar to Bob Lazar. Oh, okay. We're going to paranormal stories. Okay, cool. After we got done with the ghost tour that night we met you, we had a paranormal experience. I was woken up at around 3 a.m. randomly, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a guy. He had a red jacket and a backwards hat. Now, can I ask, was this 3 a.m.? Did you guys stay? Okay, it was in the hotel. Okay, good. So at first you thought it was a real physical break-in. Very interesting. So it was out of the corner of the eye. He did look like flesh and blood. So the backwards hat, that would be the modern era, right? That look that we have now. I don't know, the hip-hop look or something? That's very interesting. Do you think he died at that hotel? The next night, our lights and TV were turning on and off for like 30 seconds, and our blankets kept falling to the floor. when we'd wake up in the morning. So you don't have to say the name, but did you stay in Salem, the city? Ooh. Sorry about that. Yeah. No? The interesting thing that I've heard about such a thing mostly is quite interesting that I bet that is scary. That people antiquing buy stuff and take it home, and the vibes come. And I've heard numerous times people have had to burn the stuff they buy or somehow dispose of it carefully. That is definitely the work of Ed and Earl Warren that they did those movies on. Sent to. Oh, thanks, Miles. Okay, cool. So we've got some good paranormal talk going on tonight. We've got ghost stories and UFOs tonight. I have heard a very strange thing that these phenomena are around us all the time, but there's only certain times we tune in. We encounter a certain type of energy, and then we're able to see. Just like the radio. You know, you tune into the radio, but we do not hear it with our ears. Normally, it has to be tuned into the right frequency, and if you're on the frequency of the flying saucer entities, the undead, the spirits, the demons, anything like that, then you're on that frequency and you can see it. And I think some people can see it anyway. And they have to deal with that gift carefully. Very, very carefully. We had another one 2 nights ago. I saw a guy's face behind my boyfriend, and he felt cold chill at the time in the presence. I lit some sage. It was also like 2 to 3 a.m. That's interesting that you mentioned the sage, because by the Ropes Mansion, the Wiccans one night lit it up. Oh, extraordinary. That's very interesting. To the point where I tried to do it, but I didn't know what I was doing. Wow. The temperature change. The presence. Oh. Do you think it was not necessarily malevolent, but a neutral presence? That's another funny thing that I've come to learn. I was talking about that last night, that there's a famous occultist and magician I was talking about last night, Elphus Levi. Forgive me if I'm saying his name right. And he wanted the knowledge of another sorcerer, so he went through the necromancy, the process to talk to the dead Magi, and so he called him up from the dead, however he does it, you know, in his magic circle, and he comes up and appears. I think often they appear in the smoke or whatever, and he wanted to ask him a question about his work, his spells, his magic stuff, and the guy didn't want to answer, which I thought was funny. Okay, evil. So, ooh. Okay. Shit. Not good. I'm sorry that your house is having that stuff going on. Oh, now I'm getting a clearer picture of what you're talking about. I'm going to go out on a limb and sounds like some dead drunk kid that was confused. And I hate to call him that. He was inebriated. Came into your hotel. a confused spirit. Relatively recently, I'd read a book about a man who had dedicated his life to meditation, and he says he has the ability to shift dimensions. And he encountered often that the people who were dead did not know they were dead. This is negative of me to say, but in these times with all this negative energy, it's just, I don't know what you think, EF, but that type of thing that happened to you is just, it's just open now, whatever fucking barrier we had to the bad shit seems to be breaking down. I hate to be negative about it, but shit is not going right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, I think they are. Definitely. I already am. I know. Everybody's in competition, and so I was trained by a Taoist master, and he had some reservations about the art of Reiki. I don't maybe as much as he does, but there's, I don't know, different methods, so maybe people favor theirs. And he had said something funny that, Reiki, you call the people who have passed on to assist, or you call for them. What if you ask for help and you just get somebody that's not knowing what they're doing? So they might have passed to the other side, but doesn't mean they're a doctor. I don't know. I don't know. Just some people just seem so at home with speaking, particularly people in Salem with the tarot cards and accessing. I can't remember the name of it, and maybe, you know what, maybe even tomorrow night, a little later, I'm going to be reviewing a book about the occult and Led Zeppelin, which I loved recently. And the guy who wrote it is quite an accomplished occultist, and he dabbled with it, and he had kind of an opinion not to mess around with it, and that some of these sorcerers, they themselves go in to deal with it, and they don't really know what they're doing, and they're under the control of the demons or entities, if you will, that call them up. They don't know what they're doing. That's interesting. I don't know if you know Crowley. I talk about him too much on here. But he has a out of control lifestyle, hedonistic lifestyle, and kind of using people, and some of his associates, like Jack Parsons, which they did on one of the major networks, something Angel, whatever. Jack Parsons was a legitimate rocket scientist and an occultist, and he was in the OTO, a very, very serious magical group. And they've named a crater after the moon. There's some controversial guys who are incredibly gifted rocket scientists, not to say the least. Von Braun, the Nazi guy, also has a crater for him. Some sarcastically say we wouldn't have got to the moon without the Nazis. I don't know if that's true, but Parsons blew himself up. Just like I said on the thing, when we come across Alexander Graham Bell's sign, the reason why I was saying that is there's a guy that's very interesting. Oh, good. Oh, thank you. Thank you for filling me in. Yes. I hope I don't ruin your dinner with my bullshit. Enjoy. This is now how we have dinner. I'm having dinner with you and your boyfriend. This is life now. We are over the screens. Just like Dr. Brian Oblivion in Videodrome, I The only time I watch television is when I'm on television. This is getting weird. Society is getting weird. Very, very strange. Oh, the reason why I brought this James Shelby Downard guy up, if you know Marilyn Manson, one of his probably more weirder songs is King Kill 33. And Marilyn Manson takes his name from that incredible era of America's most powerful sex symbol, Marilyn Monroe, and probably America's most exciting, handsome, if you will, president, JFK. And he mixes the two, Marilyn Manson. And his song King Kill 33 is taken from a book by the late James Shelby Downard, the king of strange conspiracy guys. Nobody comes close to him. He practiced mystical toponymy, starting in El Paso at the Kern Gate, which is a gate that was built by shamanic Indians from Alaska. Nothing you've ever seen is like it. I will put in the underneath my video of it. And then it goes through the entire country, the journey of death along the 33rd parallel, ending up going through the Trinity site, which was an alchemical scientific spell. The atom smashing, which occultist author Kenneth Grant said disturbed a bunch of shades. They were drawn to the rift that was ripped open in the Earth's energy membrane. So you could say things exist like that. Some people say they're different. The soul and there's the etheric body. Some view them as separate. It's not recognized in the West, but there's chi energy. I'm really drifting. If you watch the Twin Peaks Part 2, I think I mentioned this every YouTube because I'm fascinated with it, that Lynch definitely shows this. When that person comes and keeps saying the poem, go to the water, drink to the well, they came through. Something happened when they tested that. It's never been the same. Ground Zero, Truth and Consequences, New Mexico. And then very eerily, there is a giant metal canister of immense size, of very, very thick steel, known as the Jumbo. They put that near the testing site. No one knows why. My theory is there's a scientific reason for it, and there's an occult reason for it. James Shelby Downard thought that they may have been attempting to harness the power of the atom splitting, massive explosion, and they were messing around and creating a homunculus, a little magic person. Where am I going with this? The activities of things like Ghost and any of this stuff the occultism is never far behind, in my opinion. That's why when I was doing the tour, I gave my opinion as to why there's so many damn ghosts in England. The activities of Dr. John Dee and the higher levels. You may notice I always go to the higher levels. I'm interested in the occultism of the British government, the United States. It's just done with a lot more energy and capability. They've got the power to really mess around with it. Do they really do it? I think so. They haven't told me personally. But just look at Washington, D.C. with the strange layout. The fertility magic of the Washington Monument. It's nothing but a big maypole. Big phallic thing. There's some reason why it's the White House. I'm really drifting now. Manly P. Hall talked about a man who had a strange diet and had esoteric knowledge who worked behind the scenes in the construction of our American flag. You know, looking at it, there's something about it. Is it an eagle? Is it a phoenix? Every city has this stuff. Unless you're a long-time person in the Brotherhood of the Freemasons or higher or whatever they are, whatever they're really about. Some people said there's regular Freemason guys. And there's higher and higher. You know, who knows? Who knows? How does that connect to ghost? Who knows? Maybe nothing to do with it. Going back to UFOs. I thought I had the Bob Lazar glasses, but apparently he had square glasses. Wow, he's the owner of the United Nuclear Scientific Equipment and Supplies. Oh, Fox Mulder in X-Files. His story seems to mirror that of Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar, okay, he's a conspiracy theorist himself. He's a conspiracy man himself. Hired in the late 1980s to reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology at what he described as a secret site called S4. Lazar alleges that this subsidiary installation is located several kilometers south of the United States Air Force facility, popularly known as Area 51. I will, Ron. I'm going to check out those pictures, and they will be discussed on tomorrow's show. I wonder what ghost will appear from the current state of the world we're in. Super Ghost is coming. The Super Ghost. And thank you for that, Warren. I love it. Fucking good participation. George Knapp is the guy who works with Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar has been on the mighty Joe Rogan show. My best friend, Joe Rogan, took his paper route, by the way. I am a stand-up comic myself. I had a show for a long time. It may come as a shock to you that I wasn't that good. But I may make my return. You can't do comedy anymore anyway. It's illegal. So Lazar was to come in to reverse engineer force field repulsing human flesh. This is all very interesting. The seats of the saucer were child-like, and they were from the binary star system known as Zeta Reticuli. Again, I always like to connect pop culture to allegedly real stories, because then you get a point of reference. The key thing to remember about ghosts and UFOs is it's difficult to get footage. And funny, I just saw that the Wikipedia is kind of saying that, you know, the ghost phenomena is not, the ghost and UFO phenomena is not real because, you know, the ubiquitousness of the smartphones. Well, to me, they're getting more pictures, and come on, under the Joe Rogan show, I mean, they released, you know, camera footage from the F-18, which is extraordinary, and the guy was most lucid and most capable. I have done recently a spy comedy featuring Area 51 technology, high up CIA comedy. Right here, coming in the chat room. There you go. Bob Lazar was convicted of pandering to trade of illegal goods. I think he did some computer work for a local strip joint. Ah, the software editing these days makes it hard to trust. So EF says, true, we do have cameras everywhere, but software editing these days makes it hard to trust. I know. I gotta try to make myself look good. I'm tired of looking like crap. I need to edit myself. Yeah, what's these deep fake things too? It's so fucking crazy. I don't know if you're earlier in 2019. Remember they stormed Area 51? That was bizarre. George Knapp, by the way, he is interesting in that he's on top of the Skinwalker Ranch case. Which is fascinating. In Utah, Ballard, Utah is reputed to be a site of paranormal and UFO related activities. Its name is taken from the Skinwalker of the Navajo legend concerning a vengeful shaman. Well, shouldn't they have a vengeful shaman? Because it's one thing the United States did bad is they fucked over the indigenous people big time. Certainly, there's some strong paranormal activity that was in the legendary movie Poltergeist. They did the wrong thing and built a house over sacred Indian burial ground. No doubt. Cattle mutilation folklore. Bigfoot-like creatures, glowing orbs, crop circles. Skinwalker Ranch is supposed to be the biggest hot zone for UFO activity. So, the lady in blue, probably the most, shall we say, aesthetic, romantic story of Salem. Haunted places right behind the Rockefeller's restaurant. The ghost of Rockefeller's, I guess they're calling it. The Daniel Lowe Company. That's a very, very old building where the Rockefeller's restaurant is. It's the Daniel Lowe Building, designed by Solomon Willard and Peter Banner. So it was the first church of Salem. Then it was the Daniel Lowe Company. He's the one that brought in the little witch spoons from Europe. There are tunnels that were used by smugglers below. And the woman in the blue dress, or the blue lady, is probably the most romantic story again. I don't know if you remember, we went into the alley behind there. It's the story of love gone wrong. I'm reading from the Ghost City Tours site. It's another tour company. According to legend, Blue Lady was beneath the building, the tunnels, waiting for her love. The sailor, when the sailor finally arrived, she informed him she was with child. Man, so. See, this is different. I had the sea captain got in a fight with the sailor. So I don't know. These people have a different account. I won't even read it because it's conflicting with my view, so I'm confused. Definitely there's some energy in that alleyway. There's a lot of chi. Don't know if it's connected to the ghost story, or just the way they're situated there, or the energy, or the psychic energy of speaking about it. Sorry, I'm drifting. How's dinner? That's the spy movie. And finally, I will put in the weirdest movie. We did a movie over at the tunnel in Clinton, Mass. There's the Hell Tunnel, or the Creepy Tunnel. Massive Illusion Halloween comedy. Right there. Don't miss this. I'm writing it in. Halloween Occult Tunnel Comedy. The eerie quality of the tour, no doubt. The lady in the blue dress who dominates a large painting hanging in Rockefeller's Red. See, I didn't even know that. I gotta take a look at that. Are we losing steam? Oh, somebody dressed like her. The lady in the blue dress. Crap, I'm drifting. How do you go from Bob Lazar, Area 51, to the lady in blue dress, Salem? Why not? I believe the things that I most witnessed was behind the Ropes Mansion, but by far the most frightening is the Joshua Ward house. I had personally witnessed, or was told by more than one person, that they did find themselves feeling a feeling of strangulation. But the McIntyre district is far more beautiful, and that's kind of behind the Joshua Ward. Of course, I was told and stole a joke from my friend. To the left of the Joshua Ward mansion is Dunkin' Donuts, and there are no demonic hauntings there because, of course, the donuts are all holy. Whoa. I wonder what ghost will appear in the current state. I think at this point the ghosts are lucky they're not in this fucking dimension. Yeesh, no doubt, huh? If you go over the... Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I can't take credit for that. I completely stole that joke mercilessly. But anything you got to do to kill 1 minute, right? I do like that joke, too. There's another one that the tour guides do about the spirits. I don't know, something to do with drinks or whatever. The Bung Hole Liquor Store. If you so inclined, they are open till 11 p.m. tonight if you want to get toasted. It's also said to be haunted. That's B-U-N-G, then H-O-L-E, liquor store. It was a speakeasy and a funeral parlor, so no wonder that fucking place is haunted. I guess that's my favorite, one of my favorite sections of Salem. It's got the friendship ship. Bunghole was supposed to be one of the owner's family members. Curiously said, family member was a Polish priest or donation. Polish family. That is a Polish name over there. I mean, that is a Polish neighborhood. I didn't know Polish family owned that place. It's similar to Rockefeller's, where people say that if they don't like to go up to the function hall upstairs. The Bunghole Liquors, I guess it has a basement. Cats are supposed to be witches' familiars, according to Stan Balderas. Salem is home to many feline entities. 204 Derby Street. Everything is Derby, of course. Derby being a merchant man. The privateers, which I guess are nothing but pirates, or used interchangeably, took on the British crown. And Derby was involved in serious business. Haunted cats. Bunghole Salem's haunted liquor store. The phantom cat that rubs. I was speaking to a waitress over at the Boston Burger, and as I was speaking to her, she had experienced that the unseen phantom cat that rubs up against it, and maybe we had brought some observation into that, and that got happening. That occurred. EF, did you experience any strangulation over at the Joshua Ward Mansion? Yes. Yes. I enjoyed being with you guys too. I'm going to wrap it up soon. Thank you for letting me come to dinner. I hope I looked cool. I am an adventurer. I am your friend, EF. Maybe I'll be on tomorrow night. If I am, I will put it under the message that you messaged me last night and tell you the time. I would love to get a bigger chat going. And rap more. I loved hearing your story about seeing that entity's face. I'm glad to be your friend. I'm so glad that you got in touch with me. You won't even believe it. We're going to beat this coronavirus thing, and stuff's going to get back to normal. I hope I still look cool. I'm with you, my friend. EF, thank you for finding me. Again, look for my message tomorrow night if you feel like doing it. If we will have dinner again. Love talking about the paranormal. I was a little drifty tonight. I'll be signing off too. Warren, I'm going to check my email for your picks. And I can't believe how good it's gone. Maybe I'll talk about paranormal every night. What else is there? So I'm going to sign off with Elizabeth. And yeah, let's wrap on here once in a while. We can't give each other the COVID through this screen. I can give you the crazy, but not the COVID. Yeah, that's a wrap again. Let's stay in touch. More stories. Encourage more friends to get in here. The more friends, the more stories. You stay safe too. God bless. Really appreciate you guys coming on tonight. I was lonely. Until we meet again, probably tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever. I'm going to let you know on a message, okay? All right, everybody, take care. Like Elizabeth says, be safe. Let's be safe. Ciao, my friends. Good night.